outside.
With the elements.
I mean, I guess I was outside. It was just cold. It was not raining, and I was stuck outside. I couldn't get into the car was locked, and I couldn't get into a house. And I was outside probably for like about an hour, maybe hour and 15 minutes. And next day, Preston, same thing. I had a cold. I was sick. Yeah. So I don't know. I correlated it with that too.
Was anybody outside waiting for a girl like you?
That's nice. I love it.
With syphilis?
Syphilis.
So sick.
No,
Got
not
syphilis.
that
Bad news for you, Mr. Romano. You have syphilis. Should not have waited outside.
All right. We don't have.
If you just,
I'm waiting for.
Okay. Sorry about that. I've been waiting for a girl like you
to come into my life.
Hi.
No.
Oh, right here waiting. We do have Richard Marks.
That's good.
Yeah, he's an intern.
One last thing on this list. These are myths, medical myths. That have been debunked.
Yeah.
Have been
Medical science.
with something
We're setting it on
starts
its
with an F.
ear, which you shouldn't clean, by the way.
It's the 5-second rule isn't real.
Oh.
Oh, nicely. That's my favorite one thus far.
This is take 5.
Well done. Dave
title.
Brubeck, yeah.
Oh, so if something drops on the floor,
Shouldn't eat it.
you, whether it's 3 seconds or 2 seconds, and you eat it, you could get sick as a
Get
dog.
syphilis.
I've never heard of this song before.
It's Aerosmith. I'm sick as a dog.
So back to this. Yes, according to the 5-second rule, food dropped on the floor is okay to consume as long as you pick it up within that time frame. But as Dr. Sarah explained, it's not quite true. She said, yes, the longer the food is on the floor, the more likely it's going to get in contact with bacteria.
Yes.
But if it's there for even just a second, it's likely going to get some germs.
I've always thought that was one of the more light and loose rules. In fact, everyone sort of jokingly laughs if they, But
Yeah.
the 5-second rule doesn't hold up medically.
I mean, yeah, you can get it with less on it. The longer it sits there, the more chance of some stuff coming on it. But
Kathy, if you just buttered toast, right, and you're standing there in the kitchen and you drop it and the buttered part flips over onto the genitals of a street hooker.
Okay.
Listen.
5 seconds.
The 5-second rule does not apply in my house. I have 2 white cats, and if anything drops anywhere, there's cat hair on it.
I believe that.
So
Yeah, no, it's
goes
true.
in the trash.
I believe that. All right, couple little medical myths.
Interesting.
Debunked. Thought I would pass those along. We do need to take a break and come back in a moment. We got some bizarre file stories. I think you'll enjoy them, so make sure you stay close and don't forget Tat Tuesday. Text word tattoo to 39333. We'll be back in a moment.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Who serves up the best burger in Philly? Taste for yourself. Philly Burger Bro is
About their family life and what it's like behind palace walls.
We enjoy swinging.
The pair joined baking guru Mary Berry for a Berry Royal Christmas.
I love her.
On the BBC.
Do you really?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
Sharing his perspective on how he has been talking to his kids about the causes they champion. William noted that when he drives Prince George and Princess Charlotte to school, they point out homeless people and ask questions.
Daddy, run over them. They frighten me. Will do.
He said, on the school run, I know it sounds a little bit...
I killed that one.
Got one.
Keep score back there. Do you all have a pad and paper and pencils and such? 1-1.
You got 2 that time. William also highlighted his late mother, Princess Diana's work, and credited her with opening his and brother Harry's eyes. And he said that a visit to the Passage Homeless Charity was one of the first places I came to, actually. It must have been between 8 and 10 years old, something like that, and it had a profound effect on me. He said, my mother knew what she was doing with it. She realized that it was very important when you grow up, especially in the life that we grew up in, that you realize that life happens beyond palace walls and that you see the real people struggling with real issues.
And this is the cake woman they're talking to?
This is the cake woman.
I'm sorry, were you talking to me all this time?
Yeah. Mary Berry. And
I simply asked, how are you doing?
the special aired yesterday on the BBC, by the way.
There was a throwaway line that made a lot of press. I guess it was in the Daily Mail. She said to Kate Middleton, basically something like, would you like to squirt on the cake?
Oh, geez.
And so there was actually ice and age, and they thought that was rather amusing. Why don't you lift up your skirt, hop up on the table, and squirt on the cake? Squirt. You know, like they do in pornographic films.
Royal jelly.
Royal jelly. Wow, you're like a geyser.
Okay. Kevin Costner has set a new drama at ABC. ISB will tell the story of elite special agents of the Investigative Services Branch, whose job it is to solve the most complex and heinous crimes committed in national parks in the Pacific West region.
ISB?
ISB. He is going to produce and write this. It's a procedural. Former The Flash showrunner Aaron Helberg and Costner will co-write and executive produce. And Helbing will also be, act as the showrunner. I don't think he's planning on acting.
He's producing.
In the whole thing.
He's also producing a series for NBC called DVDA.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which... and it's another division, Preston.
I guess that is.
There's 2 openings in that particular division.
Jesus. Well, and there's 2 different divisions, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So 4 openings total.
Yeah.
Well, no, 2 openings,
just 2
4
openings.
positions.
Wow. I'm with DVDA. Any openings there? 2.
You guys are talking about the Delaware Valley Dance Academy, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
4 positions.
4 positions for 2 openings.
Right.
I needed
Look up
that.
DVDA.
I needed that.
Or don't.
Or don't.
No, or just watch Blue Waffle.
Or you could just know what that
Go
is.
about the rest of your day without doing that.
Did you guys see the updated E.T. commercial that's
I
on?
did.
It's
Yeah.
great. I love it.
It is
Steven
cool.
Spielberg directed it.
Did he?
That's what
I was wondering because
that's what I read.
I'm like, you can't tread on Steven Spielberg's territory.
Yeah. Well, Henry Thomas, who played Elliot, allegedly tampered with his sobriety test during a DWI stop. According to a police report obtained by TMZ, he refused a breathalyzer during a stop in Oregon. He was reportedly taken to a station and put in a holding cell. And when a urine sample was taken, the report claims he filled it with toilet water.
The oldest trick in the book. E.T. taught him that.
He denies the
If
claim.
you're ever arrested for drinking, take your urine specimen and mix it with toilet water.
He denies the claim. Last month, the 48-year-old pleaded no contest to driving under the influence. He was given a $500 fine. I was also told to attend a victim impact panel and install a car
Here, I'll
breathalyzer.
piss in a cup for you.
Oh my God!
There are no minerals in this urine that are not even on Earth anywhere.
It's purple.
It looks like the purple stuff. You drink instead of Sunny Delight.
Breaking news.
Really?
What's up?
Marissa was just telling me you sent it over. Okay. We heard rumblings about this, I guess, Monday, that Pearl Jam is going to have new music out?
Oh, yeah. Bill mentioned something to us about that.
Okay. We have a clip of the song Marissa just sent over.
Oh.
And she's going to get you some information on the album. What's the name of the song, Marissa?
I can't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She does not. What is it?
It's called Four Corners.
Four Corners.
Four Corners. Just a clip of the song. You want
So
to
it's
play?
ready to go now?
Yeah.
Did you finish the endorsement or the?
I did.
Okay,
I
all
did.
right.
Yeah. So limited time offer was the last part of that.
All right.
New music, Pearl Jam. Just a clip of it.
Yeah, like 40
Very cool.
seconds.
All right, here we go. Let's check this out.
you.
Yes. Hook, line, and sinker. Even
As soon as the vocals started, his
Dude, no.
head popped up.
But it was believable vocals. The first line of the vocals, I was like, well, Casey's going to make fun of this. What's the guitar?
It's actually Mike McCready.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
But you can play now. Both you can play.
Not this.
Nick McAway. Hey, Nick McAway. I got
You know how some songs speak to you more than others?
I think this one hits you where you live.
This one speaks to me.
That speaks directly to you.
Directly
Yeah.
I mean, it's for crying out
Gets
loud.
me in all the feels, man.
Casey was so excited.
Oh,
he played that for me yesterday.
I was even more excited last night when Nick tweeted out you had answered somebody's tweet about Pearl Jam coming out with new music this week. I was like, oh my God, this is so perfect.
Well, there's a, and I saw that you liked that tweet, by the way. There's a,
Now we know why he liked that tweet.
there's a Pearl Jam account in Italy that actually helps break some Pearl Jam news around the world or whatever. And we've
Pearl Jamma.
No, it's Pearl Jam Online Italia, and we've been talking about possible new Pearl Jam music all week because we heard from Bill Weston that there might be some.
And that's not it.
And well, no, clearly. But the more we talk about it and the less that actual Pearl Jam music shows up, the more nervous I am about actually talking about it on air because it's just been rumors thus far. You know, we haven't actually had any. So then you got me today. I mean,
Nick McAway.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Because he was certainly impressed with MMR and the whole thing, and you know the reference. If at some point some reference in some way pertaining to you, Nick, ended up in a song, whether it be not by name or a reference or something.
just
or
call it
the
a day
station.
at that point. I just retire if that ever happened.
Yeah.
I'm done.
All right. So that's your breaking news.
Breaking news.
Music news this morning. Brand new Pearl Jam. No, the rumor is actually that there is new music from the band that's supposed to surface.
Supposedly?
Supposedly. I ask you. I guess this week, but whether that comes to pass or not, remains to be seen. So we will see. And yes, we got a lot of people texting that you got them as well.
Nice.
Some phone calls coming in too. So please welcome Mr. Frank Caliendo to the show.
What a great entrance. I walked in and I met old friends from the hallway.
Wow.
It was somebody from another station down the hall was like, wait a second, are you Frank Caliendo? I'm like, yeah. He goes, okay. And then he walked away and didn't let me in. And then I'm just standing there with these other guys, and which we became great friends. No, yeah. And
Sometimes you just know.
And then, and then I was like, "You're not gonna just let me in?" I would have left these guys here in a heartbeat. I have no problem with that. And they're like, "We would have done it too." They're like, "You're just stuck here with these two creepy guys." I'm like, "You have no idea what my life is like. You're 0 on the creepy meter. Your creepy meter doesn't even come close to get." They were very nice.
I feel like it's gotten to a point where we should just give you a key fob so you can get in.
I would take it. I have stations where I have that.
You do have the key fob accessibility?
Yeah, I've had that, and entry codes like in Arizona.
You know, but now here you have construction going on, so you'd be
so I also have a key.
peril.
I have a key to a crane.
You do? They
Yeah.
gave you a key?
How do you think I got in?
Oh my God!
I didn't take a door. I was dropped in.
It's why when you come up here, so a lot of people don't know, they're actually going to add an atrium onto the building that's going to go up 4 floors. It'll be right outside our window here. So they're actually digging up the whole front of the building. And so we haven't heard it as of yet. But
Nick let me know in advance.
Did you walk over here?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
What do you think? I think I Ubered from across the street?
I wouldn't put it
How
past you.
lazy do you know that I am?
But your hotel's literally a block away.
We can
Yeah,
see
let's
it.
just tell everybody where I'm staying. That's great.
Room 472.
Then you want to see some creepy factor, guys? I want to tell you guys because I was so excited this weekend. I shouldn't say no. I hadn't been to one of these in a while. It was a comic convention kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah. You're a comic book nerd.
I like comic books. I'm getting into them. I'm getting back into them. I liked them when I was a kid. I'm more into the stuff that my daughter's into. Barbies, My Little Pony. No,
You're into
I'm more
that.
into- just looking for a joke.
It just
looking for a
got
laugh.
creepy again.
Yes,
Yeah.
no problem. I like to comb their hair. My Little Pony.
You know what they call those bronies?
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
is there such a thing? I'll get into it. I got no problem.
it's a legitimate fetish. They're called bronies.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Hey Jerry, what I was going to do there was going to get real creepy. So this one was called Ace Con, all right, and
Arizona?
No, it's a national thing.
Okay.
I think they might do one in Philadelphia too
Okay.
eventually, but they go all over. And they do major celebrities from the movies.
Yeah, yeah.
So Tom Hiddleston was at this one, who was
cool.
Loki.
Yeah, we love Hiddleston. Yeah.
Oh, and he's nicer in person than he is as Loki. First of all, but he's so nice. But he comes up. I don't know if I can never tell this because he was so smooth and so
Yeah.
incredible and so British.
Yeah.
That he comes over and he knew who I was. And that was one of those moments. I'm like, well, this is pretty awesome because my daughter's like, huh?
Well, he's an impressionist as well.
Oh, he was
so
great.
he's got to know your stuff.
Very, very good. 'Cause
Yeah.
He comes over and he's talking about, but he has the one up. Like he's friends with Jeff Goldblum, so he's talking about Jeff Goldblum. Yes, he's doing this. He's like, he'll come over and he'll be like, how are you?
Presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Dry Tech Waterproofing Solutions. You can protect your home from water damage, cracks in your foundation, and mold with Dry Tech Waterproofing Solutions. Preston and Steve listeners, you get 15% off when you mention our show. So go to drytechcorp.com for information. All right, how about this, man? 2 rowdy pilots have been suspended after getting into a mid-flight brawl in the cockpit.
Oh my God.
The Air France pilots reportedly exchanged blows after one refused to follow orders on the flight from Geneva to Paris.
Guess who sucks? You do.
Shortly after takeoff, one of the pilots reportedly slapped the other one after a disagreement.
What?
The pair then grabbed each other by the collar before one of them chucked their briefcase in the face of the other one. Like they're throwing down, man.
It's the pilots.
Flight attendants heard the blazing row from the cabin and stepped in to split them up.
Pourquoi tu es dans ma chère unité? Chef, pour tuer, chef! Donc tu es un tueur? Chef, oui, chef! Fais-moi voir ta gueule de guerrier! Chef! T'as une gueule de guerrier? Ah! Ça, c'est une gueule de guerrier! Là, fais-moi voir ta gueule de guerrier!
That's Full Metal Jacket in French, isn't it? Yes.
Cul, autant dire que tu m'as pas convaincu. Fais-moi voir ta vraie gueule de guerrier! Tu me fais pas peur. Travaille-moi ça. Chef, oui, chef!
Sounds like he's saying, chef, yes, chef. I love it.
Nice job, Casey.
Thank you, sir.
So flight attendants had to step in. A member of the cabin crew was actually forced to spend the rest of the flight sitting behind the pilots to stop them from fighting again. A spokesperson for Air France described the cockpit
You're a
brawl
bad pilot.
as totally inappropriate behavior.
You're acting like babies.
The airline confirmed that there was a dispute with an exchange of inappropriate gestures during the incident on the Airbus A320.
He said I wasn't a good pilot.
But they said the incident ended quickly without affecting either the conduct or safety of the flight, which continued normally. And the pilots have been suspended and they are being investigated. Royal Canadian Mounted Police and other agencies are investigating after an exorcism and other activity allegedly took place at a children's Bible camp near Saskatoon.
Oh, a Saskatoon exorcism is top level.
In addition to the alleged exorcism conducted earlier this summer, it's unclear how the man in question was approved to work with the kids at the Redberry Bible Camp. On the man's own Facebook page, he details a recent lengthy history of pornography and drug addiction, domestic violence, and firing from his previous job as a camp counselor. An investigation is underway into 2 reports of an incident involving a staff member and a preteen boy.
So the power of Christ compels you, eh?
The incident allegedly took place inside one of the camp's cabins where 2 witnesses reported a child was in medical distress, lying on the floor, bleeding from the nose, making sounds and twitching. The exact age of the boy is not known, but some children went to go get help. They came back with the staff member. The complainants reported that the man decided to perform an exorcism on the child as the other children watched. His kid's probably having a seizure over here.
Yeah. It's got to be possessed.
It's unclear how long the ceremony lasted, but at the end, the complainants say that the man told the children that he got rid of his demon, that had possessed the child. He then handed his business card to each one of the children.
You're going to want to keep that.
And he told the children that they had to stay in contact with him for the rest of their lives because only he knew how to ward off the demon that they had all encountered. Some of the children were so terrified they called their parents. Even though the 6-day camp was less than half over, the parents took their children home that night and the following morning, and the agencies were notified about that. But
some of this seems suspicious to me.
So immediately they suspended the guy, and they're trying to figure out what the story is.
Trying to
with
help
him
some kids.
and why he did that. That is just messed up.
What the hell century are we living in?
Exactly.
Frontier exorcist.
Yeah. All right. Now this is a nice story. This is kind of a sweet.
Not a Saskatoon
This
exorcist.
is a sweet story. And by the way, I wrote down as a band name Saskatoon Bible Camp.
Okay.
Is the name of a band. So a guilt-ridden footballer, meaning soccer. This story is in England. He organized a rematch between two primary schools. Now, that would be grade schools.
Yes.
50 years after he scored a dubious equalizer to help clear his conscience.
So there was some sort of question about
Yes.
the outcome, and they want to do it the right way.
Oh, and he cheated. He flat out cheated.
Flat out cheat. That
And
son of a bitch.
I think he cheated, or he got away with something, and he didn't call himself on it. So Graham Jones, a former Royal Navy training instructor, admitted shoving a goalkeeper with his hands on the ball 5 yards over the goal line to earn a controversial draw in a match played in September 1972. Mr. Jones, who is now 60, said he was determined to put right a wrong when he learned of the result's lasting impact on his aggrieved local rivals and spent 18 months assembling the same lineup from the Gayton Primary School team who took on St. Peter's C of E School, Cough E. Mr. Jones' former PE teacher, Alan Jones, who had awarded his team their contentious equalizer, was given the honor of observing the coin toss before officiating the match for the first 5 minutes of play on Saturday. The teams recreated an old squad photo that appeared in a local paper when they were 10 years old, and after the 60-minute match, Mr. Jones' rivals finally settled the score with a 6-2 win at Heswall Football Club's ground. And he stated, as I said before, if we lose, we lose. And I wanted to turn a wrong into a right. It was very, very surreal to do the official photo as we wanted to capture it more or less exactly as it was at school 50 years apart.
That's wild.
And when we walked onto the pitch, we formed up and in our original positions as well. Mr. Jones came up with the idea for the match during the first lockdown in 2020 after fighting his old team portrait. So he just wanted to make good on that.
Have you ever seen the movies, the Up movies, where they get the kids, the British kids at 7, 14, 21?
Yeah, I've seen clips of it.
Yeah, it's amazing. This puts me in mind of that.
This reminded me of that movie with Robin Williams and Kurt Russell.
Best of Times.
Best of Times.
I love that.
It was a high school football
And
thing
the rivalry
that plagued him for his entire life, and he set up a rematch of the whole deal. It was a pretty cute movie. All right, and then finally we will end with one more story. Let's go with this one. It's a safe bet that most Americans don't know that there's a mountain in Oregon with a very questionable name, Swastika Mountain.
Oh, that's bad.
But it's apparently not going to have that name for much longer. Oregon resident Joyce McLean
The hills are alive with the sound of music.
learned about the name of the mountain near Eugene earlier this year after news that two hikers needed to be rescued from it.
Eugene.
That's how they call the cops.
Eugene.
That's the rescue helicopter.
She filed paperwork with the Oregon Geographic Names Board to change the name, beginning the process for it to happen sometime next year. Swastika Mountain was given the name in the early 1900s when the swastika was seen as a symbol of good fortune or well-being before Adolf Hitler went and ruined it all.
Right.
And the peak is expected to be renamed Mount Halo.
They went with that instead of bloody anal polyp.
Yes, and this will be named after Chief Halito, who once led the Yankala Kalapuya tribe in the region.
Okay.
So they're going to change it over.
From Swastika Mountain.
Yes, to Halo Mountain. All right, and there you go. That is what I have in the bizarre file for you. All right, we're going to take another break. We'll come back in a second. We got stuff to give away, and you need to know a thing or two about today's program. You had to have been listening. It's called The Lesson Question. We have trash and music news coming up, too, so stay with us.
like that. So we're going back and forth, me and Hiddleston. Tommy, as I like to call him. Tommy and I are going back and forth doing Jeff Goldblum. We're doing some Pacino and stuff like that. It's like, whoa, he does more of the Scarface kind. But so we're doing that, and my daughter's like thinking this is the greatest thing in the world.
Awesome.
And so that wasn't even the end of it. So I want to tell you about this thing too. So they take pictures with people. Like you can pay. It's expensive.
Like it can be for a couple $100.
Yeah,
but you're gonna get a frameable quality
More
photo.
than that,
Yeah.
it was incredible. People were bringing props. People were bringing birthday cakes, fake birthday cakes, and he was doing all of it because it's an expensive thing.
It's like Wizard World here, and
it is
same deal.
very similar. I think it might be from the people who created
It
Wizard
probably
World.
is. Yeah.
There's something. I'd heard that as a rumor. So they're doing that kind of a thing. We keep running into him. And Hiddleston walks up behind me at one point. Who towers over me? I'm 5'6", he's 6'2". He's like, I heard you do a Tom Hiddleston impression. I'm like, no, I don't, but I do the Beatles. That's what it turns into. So then a guy comes in and he goes, Frank! And we're in the back area because originally I was just going to stalk everybody with my daughter. But try and be nice. You know, you guys know what that's like. But
he's looking at his stalkers here in the studio.
No, you do that thing where you respect everybody's space and stuff like that. You do. So we didn't ask for any extra pictures or anything like that outside the times we were supposed to. And this guy comes and he goes, Frank! And it's Todd McFarlane.
Oh, wow.
Spawn.
Yeah. And baseball collector extraordinaire.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he sits down and he starts talking, who's this? This is Juliet. Hey, Juliet. And he starts talking to my daughter. He starts saying, so I actually have this on video. I'll show it to you. I never asked him if I could share it with anybody to play. But he says, I created a character called, you ever hear of him, Venom? So I was drawing, and he tells the whole story of how he created Venom, which is basically, they wanted him to, and I've never heard this story before, they wanted him to draw the black costume Spider-Man. That was where it was at that point.
Right.
He's like, I don't want to draw Spider-Man. I can kind of do his voice. I don't want to draw Spider-Man. I don't want to draw him in a black costume. Red and blue, right? And my daughter's like, yes, it's red and blue. And he's like, so he starts drawing it there, and he starts going to, he's like, so the reason Venom's created because I was stubborn. I didn't want to do what they wanted me to do. I was like, and
that was the genesis of the character.
Yeah, that's what it says. He's like, we'll make a villain. He'll be the black character, and then the red and blue will be Spider-Man still. We'll all be happy, and that's how it turned out. Oh. Yeah, it's surreal.
Did you watch The Family Guy this past weekend or the weekend before with Peter goes to the White House and works in the Trump administration?
No.
It was a funny episode, but as you can imagine, it skewered Trump a lot. I thought that it was you. I had to watch the credits because it sounded like your impression of Trump, which is a relatively easy impression, I think,
I don't
to
think
do.
it's very hard.
I think that because of how easy it is, people think that just doing the impression is funny. When that's not the case.
It's not.
Right.
You've always done this.
And mine is tremendous. It really is. There's a lot of people that are talking about my impression. Here's the thing. You guys do a great job. This is probably the #1 show I'll be on right now. And let me say that the ratings going through the roof, not even just the roof, through the stratosphere, and Space Force will probably find them. But we'll talk about this for a second. What were we talking about? Doesn't matter. It just got better.
My stuff is silly. My stuff is silly that people who are like on one side or the other, they go, oh, that was great. I had that happen years and years ago in Texas. I was doing George W. Bush.
Yeah.
And they're like, you do, the people on the same show, people go, you must really love him. That was great how you did that. And other people walk out and go, you hate him, don't you? And I was like, you decide. You decide. That's what you want. If you're listening to me for politics, in this venue, you're in the wrong.
But if you're able to nail it both ways like that, then you hit it.
That's how I want to do it. Yeah. And for me, like, there's enough out there for the people that are pro this or anti this that. What am I going to do? Add to one of those sides?
That's our philosophy.
And I don't even believe that I would go. There are things I think that happen that are okay, that are good, and that are bad and awful. And it all happens, and it's whatever. I feel like eventually it's going to work itself out one way or another. But if people just scream and yell from the rooftops, it just makes other people mad.
Yes.
And that's where I come from. And
besides that, Preston and I are big fans of dystopian future movies. So those are cool. Well, however it breaks, whether we're fighting vampires or zombies,
whatever it is,
or whatever, or maybe we're a mailman, Preston, like in the Postman.
Yeah. Listen, my friend Rick and I met up with a lot of people. You just stab them in the brain. That's what you do. You don't grab them by the you-know-what. You stab them in the brain. When you hear that sound, it's tremendous. It gets really, really great.
So, interesting story from the Nick McElwain camp. Your son had to have a medical procedure, nothing serious.
Yeah, he's totally fine. But this was something that I'd never heard of before, and I thought maybe bring it up on the air because of that. It's called an epidermal inclusion cyst. So I'd never heard of that. I obviously know what a cyst is. It was about the size of like a Mento, and it's kind of like a flat disc, about the size of a quarter, but no thicker than a Mento or a Spree or something like that.
Did it have breath freshening attributes to it?
Did it have Retsin?
It didn't have any Retsin, no.
Okay.
And but removed quickly, easily, 3 stitches, sewed them right back up.
It's funny that you mentioned, Steve, the Mentos and did have the scent to it. When I had a different, and I've talked about it in years past, I had a completely different kind of cyst. It's called the pilonidal cyst in our tailbone. And I got that thing lanced.
Oh, God.
Most painful experience of my life. Not only did it hurt, Kathy, you're really going to be disgusted by
I
this.
heard it. I know.
It stunk up the room.
Really?
It's awful.
Did it like come flooding out? The stench?
It just smelled like rot. It just I couldn't believe it that I was in that much pain and I was still able to notice the putrid smell of that.
Bonus.
Right? Exactly. So let me ask you this: when they removed this from him, did they put him under? Was it done in a
Local anesthesia, and but the interesting thing, and I guess one of the differences between the cysts is this one was this sac developed around the infection, and you could a cyst sac, and you could see it. So it was encased in this thing, and so it was almost like a solid just pulled right out of his body. So this protective sac that formed around the cyst sac. Was there. It's what the body does to protect itself from an infection.
It's amazing what the body does in those cases, the way it attempts to expel anything. Any chance if you had left it there, it would have become a pearl?
Maybe.
I have one in my cheek. I've had it for years since I was a kid.
A cyst?
Yeah, and
from chewing tobacco?
No. The doctor said never to remove it, and that I don't ever have to, just because it would be like a surgery to
inside or on the outside.
What do you mean? It's like under my skin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what? If
I can feel it from the inside.
You could have something protruding on the inside of your mouth and not be able to see it or feel it from the outside.
So you wouldn't be able to see it or feel it. You kind of have to push down. So it's almost like hidden between the inside of my mouth and my skin on the outside. But when I get sick, if I have a cold or my immune system is compromised, it gets a little bit bigger.
Would I be able to feel it if I touched it?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'd have to go all the way around the room.
Yeah, I'd have to show you where it is and direct your finger.
There we go.
We got it.
Don't be scared. I'll lead you. It's okay. Don't be scared. I'm gonna let you caress my inner mouth.
I hate you guys.
Inner mouth lump. It's all right. It happens to lots of guys.
You'll guide my finger?
I'll guide your finger. And when I quiver, you'll know you hit it.
Listen, I thought, too, about different ways I could say that, and that's what came out, because I knew you were going to make something of it.
Oh, I'll quiver when you hit it.
That was my best option.
Money shot.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. I've been given the wrap-up sign. We have to take her. I know. Marissa just brought the full list of cysts, Casey.
Because your cyst
is on my list. Because your cyst,
I can't resist.
All right.
I got my finger to your cyst.
And I'm feeling you quiver. All right, well, we'll come back to these.
Yeah,
because we got to break and come back, and we got to get Lou Diamond Phillips on. But maybe we can run down the list of cysts.
The cyst list.
A tourist in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, faces a couple of criminal charges after firing his gun 6 times at a bear outside the door of his motel room last Thursday night. Gregory Sapp was
enjoying your stay at the Westin?
Gregory Sapp was cited for illegal discharge of a firearm and reckless endangerment. Police said Sapp claimed the bear was outside his room on the second floor breezeway of the Motel 6.
Dude, I'm just trying to get some ice.
Sapp was not injured. Officers with the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency were unable to find the bear on Friday. They did not know how many shots hit the animal. It is unknown if the bear is dead or alive.
Was there, in fact, a bear?
A neighbor, Anthony Gunter, said, I had heard several shots ring out. It turns out this fellow was shooting at a black bear that he claimed tried to attack him and his wife. He exclaimed that it was a 300 or 400-pound bear, which is the exact size of that bear that's been in our neighborhood for a while. It's a big bear. Like I said, I've never... All right, today we ask a lesson question, and we give away a $50 Dunkin' gift card for the correct answer. And I think we are going to go with this. After the success of If I Fell from the Beatles, what endorsement song did they work into their repertoire? All right, so for what company did they do an endorsement for after the success of If I Fell? We were talking about music therapy at that time. And
it's amazing.
And great harmonies, and we didn't know that they did it for this company. 215-263 WMMR. Let's see if you know the answer to that. After the success of If I Fell, what endorsement song did the Beatles work into their repertoire? 215-263 WMMR. Call now.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you this morning by Sequoia Outback. If your deck or patio is in need of a refresh, go see our friends at Sequoia Outback on Route 309 in Hatfield. Shop their end-of-season sales going on now. What's up this morning, Steve?
Well, Netflix canceling the series Resident Evil after just one season. The streaming giant plans on replacing the series with Resident Community, in which Manny attempts to get a wheelchair ramp outside the bingo hall. Ezra Miller reportedly, that's okay. Ezra Miller reportedly took a meeting with Warner Brothers in an effort to make sure his movie The Flash gets released. The very troubled Miller reportedly suggested that The Flash complete a 12-step program in 0.04 seconds. Hey! And finally, Charlie Sheen has decided to settle his lawsuit with an ex-girlfriend who claimed he exposed her to HIV. The plaintiff, known as Jane Doe, says she knew she'd made a mistake when Sheen Seaman actually began to smoke crack. And that's your Hollywood Trash.
All right, we were looking for this answer after the success of If I Fell. What endorsement song did the Beatles work into their repertoire? 215-263 WMMR. We're going to go to Mike, see if we can get the answer. Hey, Mike, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
All right, Mike, what did they work into their repertoire?
Stay flight replay. Stay flight replay.
Well done. And sung. Wasn't even a requirement. Way to go, Mike. We're going to give you a $50 Dunkin' gift card. It's time to go to our teachers. It's go time for our teachers. And Duncan is brewing up the perfect way to say thank you on Thursday.
What exactly is it?
It's go time.
Okay.
Local educators will receive a free medium hot or iced coffee at participating Dunkin' restaurants. Price and participation may vary.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
I can't do it because the machine's down.
Oh, all right. That's all right.
I'll
I guess
play it for you halfway through. It'll come as a shock, but you'll hear it and you'll be surprised.
Some stories. I think I just have two, maybe three here to pass along. So the band Buck Cherry is going to start recording their 10th studio album on November 4th. According to the band's Facebook page, singer Josh Todd and guitarist Stevie DeCaney will head to Nashville.
Hey, DeCaney.
To finish the writing process before they head into the studio. The album is currently slated for a 2023 release.
Hey, do you have a quick second?
Yeah. And there it is. Now it's complete.
Yeah. That's great.
Metallica has announced its Helping Hands concert and auction for December 16th. The band's All Within My Hands nonprofit foundation was launched in 2017 to help create sustainable communities by tackling the issues of hunger and workforce education and encouraging volunteerism. The first concert was held in 2018. In addition to acoustic versions of some of Metallica's classic songs, the band performed covers of tunes from Deep Purple, Nazareth, Blue Oyster Cult, and Bob Seger.
How long before your dad is in an RV following the band on tour?
Well, he is going to be a roadie for him, so should all work out nicely.
The four band members are joined by a quartet of backing musicians who provided additional percussion, keyboard, strings, and vocal harmony. The event raised $1.3 million, which went to food banks in cities that the band played on its then-current World-Wired tour and carefully selected community colleges throughout the country. So they said in a statement, we are excited to announce the date of our third Helping Hands concert and auction. It will be in Los Angeles, December 16, 2022, a very special show. And it has been a few years since we connected in person for this unique event, so we want to get it on your calendar now. And we're excited to share all the amazing things this foundation has accomplished, and we are inspired to look toward the future. Of course, we'll cap it all off with a full night of live music, and we hope you'll join us for the celebration. Keep watching this site for our socials for more details. They next perform on the 24th at September 24th at Central Park. Global Citizen Festival is taking place. And then finally, according to an unconfirmed fan report, Bruce Springsteen may be prepping a surprise soul covers collection for release before the end of the year. Subtle.
Don't tell anyone, but I'm going to be doing a soul collection.
The boss-centric, none but the brave.
Can you hear yourself in my echo?
I can, actually, yes, I can. Hey!
Who's that way back there?
Hey!
Is that Preston doing music news?
Hey, boss! I'm back here.
Why don't you come up here and dance for me like Courtney Cox?
All right, hang on, I'll be right there. I'm almost done. Hey, how you doing, Bruce?
Even though we're just dancing in the dark, man.
So,
Is that Kathy bubbling?
Did that go over here?
Yeah.
What a bummer that chick is.
The bum on that chick? Is that what you
What a
said?
bummer that chick is. Yes.
Pick up the bum on that chick. Bruce is an ass man.
Absolutely.
Didn't know that.
9 ways to Sunday.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, I've always wondered about that. 6 ways from Sunday, 9 ways to Saturday, whatever.
Well, Wednesdays, Sunday, Carvel.
Yeah. So this is on a podcast that said, as we mentioned on the last episode about rumblings of a new Springsteen release, those rumblings have gotten much louder, and we expect Bruce to release a soul covers record this fall. A small number of shows to promote it are also expected, so count us in as intrigued.
Is Bruce still doing that podcast with Obama, with President Obama?
Was that his podcast that Obama came onto, or were they doing like a few chapters
I thought it was
together?
Both of us.
Okay.
Together.
Bruce's one and only other covers collection was 2006's We Shall Overcome, the Seeger Sessions, and the set peaked at number 3 on the Billboard 200 and snagged the Grammy Award for that year's Best Traditional Folk Album.
Did you ever see Springsteen's, the Netflix had it up for a while, the Broadway show?
No.
It was actually, so I love earlier Bruce a lot more, but I thought it was really well done. It was kind of a nice, a look back at his life, and it was punctuated with his music, and it was well done.
Yeah, I would like to see it. Finally, just a reminder, back to school A to Z. We've mentioned this several times, how excited we are about it. It's this Thursday. It starts with Jackie Bam Bam, 7 p.m., so don't miss any of it. And you can follow along on WMMR.com and see the list of songs and all that good stuff as it is rolling out.
So what's the big conflict here? You were mentioning, so Bill's in the studio.
Well, Jackie Bam Bam's going to kick everything off, and he's got Bill in one ear telling him to stick to the list, and then he'll have Pierre call him, telling him, you got to play 2,000 miles. That sounds like Dr. Mike.
Shaking
That did sound like Dr. Mike.
Rico Suave.
Rico Suave.
By the way, Bill's in the corner of the studio right now rolling his eyes. Come on. Well, no matter what happens, it's a musical adventure, and we loved it. We love doing it, and I think the listeners respond to how much fun it is overall, and how much fun we're having as the jocks here back at the station.
A, no other station would do it. No other station would have the wherewithal to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a huge library of music.
F them.
So suck it.
Yeah, this is our thing. All right.
Suck it!
Yeah. Even Bruce agrees. So that's music news. Let's take a break. Come back in a second. Letter a day for the word of the week when we return. Stay now. He said it just goes about its business.
Oh, he's a big fella.
He said he was I'm quoting you. He was a really friendly bear. He would just walk over here, leave us alone, go over there. I hope he's alive, he says. Police
let me describe what he would do. He'd be over there, and then he'd be over there. I never saw him over there, though.
But he was over there?
I don't recollect.
But he was definitely there in there.
Yeah, 4 times. Well, 2 times there and 2 times there. I keep a diary. That's that book that says there on it.
That's the name of the diary?
Yeah.
It's the bear over there.
That bear over there.
Police said they're still investigating the case. The Motel 6 has several cameras visible on the exterior of the building and the breezeways.
We'll leave the bear on for you.
Neighbors said they take a wait-and-see approach on whether the animal was aggressive toward the motel guests, but they admit that the animals roam the breezeway of the motels.
No reason to be afraid. The bear was over there.
He said those bears will go up and down them ramps of these hotels searching for food, whatever they can find. If the bear was truly aggressive and threatening, the man may be justified for shooting in self-defense. But you are not allowed to shoot a bear just because it's close to you.
Just because it's there.
Yeah. Where was he?
There.
Firing a weapon should only be used as a last resort when there is no other escape option, according to them.
I don't know how fond I would be of a hotel where there was a robust bear population.
On the second floor.
On the second floor.
He was able to make it up there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Without a key.
All right, another fact that we learned from
the Just Saying Institute, located over 200 sprawling acres in West Virginia.
The last decade from researchers. If your ex wants to be friends, they might be a psychopath.
If your ex wants to be friends, that's sign of being a psychopath, possibly?
In 2016, researchers from Oakland University in Michigan found that people with the so-called dark triad personality traits like narcissism and psychopathy, I guess is how you say it.
He's a member of the dark triad.
Often,
like Cobra?
I'm going to have to take him out.
Often keep their exes.
He's the disease. I'm the ex-boyfriend.
No, they often keep their exes around for calculating, self-serving purposes.
Okay.
A desire for continued sexual access, financial help, or a need to still exert some control over a former partner were among key reasons for maintaining contact, especially for men. These are facts, yes, from the Just Saying Institute.
From the Just Saying Institute.
That
we end up just saying things at the Just Saying Institute.
That we have found out over the last 10 years about relationships and
That's a decade.
love and sex and all that stuff. So how about this one? Speaking of sex, that sexual afterglow that you feel after sex will last about 48 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
You mean
longer for you, Kath?
No, it seems to diminish pretty quickly.
Are you sure? Because you had to clean up right after.
off of me. Get it off of me. But the glow, get it off.
It's like it's like you've sat in the bedroom with me.
Get it off.
You have this glow.
It's the light refracting off of it.
It's shimmering and shiny.
Get it off.
It's glazy.
I look like a Krispy Kreme.
So you're generally in a better
Get your blanket and pillow. You're sleeping on the couch.
You're generally in a better mood after sex thanks to a flood of endorphins and other feel-good hormones released post-climax. Positive effects of getting laid last up to 2 days. And
Wow.
That the feeling can help couples bond over time.
I always let out a big sigh when I close the laptop.
Says there might
Clear history and
there might be
Erase the history.
What's on Google News?
There might be an evolutionary reason for the 48-hour shelf life. 48 hours is roughly the same amount of time that A, conception is maximized, B, it takes sperm concentrations to be restored to peak levels.
Do we have to guess which one?
And C, no, these things all happen.
All the above.
And C, sperm remain maximally viable in the female reproductive tract. So all that happens over 48 hours, and it's all
You're
apparently.
the semen. I'm the afterglow.
Just let him be here.
All right.
Let him be here. That's Cobra. That's Cobra.
I apologize.
He's a professor at the Just Saying Institute.
I didn't know.
Oh, my God. All right.
Just Saying Institute. I'm a professor teaching classes daily.
Meghan Markle is opening up about the pressures of being a new mom in the public eye.
Thank you for asking, because not many people have asked if I'm okay. But it's It's a very real thing to be going through behind the scenes.
And the answer is, would it be fair to say not really? Okay, since it's really been a struggle.
Yes.
Wow.
Says a new mom?
Yeah, she's dealing with being a new mother. Well, you let her tell you.
All right.
Look, any woman, especially when they're pregnant, you're really vulnerable. And so that was made really challenging. And then when you have a newborn,
It's a long time ago, but I remember, yeah.
And especially as a woman, it's a lot. So you add this on top of just trying to be a new mom or trying to be a newlywed.
I know this is probably inappropriate, but I would love to kiss you.
Wow. Excuse me?
I'm just watching you speak, and with your tone is very inviting. I would love to kiss you.
He's the Joe Namath
of the British press corps.
I'm sure that this is inappropriate, but in that first clip, the British guy says to her that it's really been a struggle to her, and to me, it sounded like it's really penis struggle.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys caught that clip,
Really,
but
penis struggle.
Go back to.
You're right. I have struggled with many penises, depending on girth and other factors.
Wow.
But I have a perfect fit in my current husband, and it's good. Sometimes I don't even know it's happening. Thank you.
Wait, let's hear that clip. Hold on.
Would it be fair to say not really? Okay, since it's really been a struggle.
Yes.
Really? In fact, the other night he rolled over and he said, God damn, that was great. And I said, what? And he had actually completed a sexual act. And I was wholly unaware. I didn't even miss. I was reading a book at the time. I had literally no idea, but that speaks to how quiet he is and how small.
She's turning it into him.
I've had things that were very painful, and I felt, I don't know, in a way, the word would be, I guess, build up, and I don't feel that. I feel as if I don't know. If a person of short stature would have wandered through the Carlsbad Caverns. I think perhaps that's what his penis must feel like.
Oh, my God.
it's a penis struggle.
So this was kind of interesting. Jodie Foster almost played Cindy Brady when she was a kid.
Wow.
The Brady Bunch cast
As
revealed
Nell.
on Watch What Happens Live. Yeah, instead of a lisp, she can't communicate at all. So Cindy, Susan Olsen had a little bit of a lisp, and yeah.
Cindy, you can't go smearing your feces on the attic wall. I know it's comfortable for you to spread your spore around the house to chase away predators.
Mr. Brady could even communicate. He could have a moral lesson for Nellie, who wouldn't understand him.
Gaya fla bla ta qua. Fuego tapa.
That's Nell.
Where it all gone what?
Now,
That's her version. That's her version of Mom always said, "Don't play ball in the house, Steve." Play it one more time.
Where it all gone what?
Yeah, Mom always said, "Don't play ball in the house." You know that.
Brings some relief with it, and it does look that way. 87 the high tomorrow, sunshine 86 on Thursday. Pretty much the same thing on Friday as well. Sunshine all those days.
Everyone's brown lawn needs the
Needs some rain, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like when we just haven't been getting very much. That's all there is to it. So
it's crazy, yeah. But the great thing is that you get the thunderstorms and the lightning and everything because a cold front is coming through to cool everything down.
So we need to give away a prize. It's Tattoos Day today, so let's give away a $350 gift certificate for Floating World Tattoo and Piercing. We're going to give it to Case. Is that Roaming? How you say that last name? Dan Roaming?
Romig, yes.
Romig. I'm sorry. Dan Romig.
Hey!
Hey! Dan is from Pottstown. Pottstown! And he's our winner.
All right.
And so we give them a $350 gift certificate for Floating World Tattoo and Piercing. And you can check them out. They're at 1729 South Street.
They do great work.
In Philadelphia. And if you want to see their samples, visit floatingworldtattoos.com or check them out on Instagram at Floating World Tattoos. So congratulations to you, sir. And then the other thing we need to do, no guests on the program today, so I don't need to go through a list of thank yous. Oh, I'll remind you we have a new Daily Rush video. It's called Ronald Reagan's Happy Days Cameo.
I love it.
Anson Williams is running for mayor and received an endorsement from one of his Happy Days co-stars, Ronald Reagan. And I guess his sit on it is his campaign slogan. You can be the first to see the new Daily Rush videos. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can watch us streaming online as well every day. Sponsored by Xfinity's Gig Speed Internet. Learn more at xfinity.com.
You know, we have a wide age range of people that listen to the show, and it's always funny when you have somebody who you know falls well outside of who would have no idea who Potsy was.
Oh, yeah.
But they know it through the show, or James Mason,
Right.
or these weird references that we make.
Yep. We need to do the letter of the day. Case?
I got you.
Here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, and the Preston and Steve show is brought to you today by the letter
T as in Tattoos Day.
Perfect. And we are going to set somebody up with our Word of the Week prize, which happens to be a trip for two to see Bush, Allison Chains, and Breaking Benjamin. They're going to be at in West Palm Beach, Florida, Saturday, October 1st, and that includes round-trip airfare and 2 nights hotel. So we'll give that away on Thursday. Just 2 more letters to go, by the way. I would like to thank our sponsors. The Preston and Steve radio program is brought to you today by Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors, Acme, the official grocery store of the Preston and Steve Show. Also brought to you by Dunkin'. The Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin', and Sunoco with the new Sunoco Go Rewards app. When you fuel, you save. Download the app to start saving. Tomorrow on our program, a Wednesday, Fox Good Day, Secret Text Word, and Tom Hopper will be on the show.
Yeah, he's the ape guy on Umbrella Academy.
Oh,
we've had him.
Yeah, so he plays
Luther.
Yeah, excellent. He's great. And he was in Game of Thrones.
Yes.
And a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That'll be nice. All right, that's it. We are done. Rage on. Have a great day. And we'll see you tomorrow, gang. Pierre is in next.